Has this become as memorable as that win against Geelong because you're just in the face of an opponent, you just never give them a break, you just harass to get the game always on your terms, so to speak?
Yeah, it felt like that. It was one of those games where it was just relentless the entire fourth quarter, which was really pleasing. Just love this footy club, It's one of those moments where it's probably one we put up on a wall somewhere for a young group developing, but I love the way they went about it. It's a real good chance for our members to enjoy it and embrace what it is we're building, because we saw it tonight.
So you've always talked about being great at the contest. Which elements do you think you really added on top of that tonight?
Oh, we had composure. We had a game plan going in. The guys were outstanding in that. They didn't waver from it. They embraced what it was we were looking to bring. We knew that Carlton had so many weapons, and if we were a little off in some areas, we'd be exposed. And there were periods in the game where they did get control. I think we had 11 inside 50s in a row against us. But to battle back and get it on our terms again. For a young group to perform the way they did tonight and just continue to grind, it was so pleasing to watch.
Where did the idea about Keys not in the centre square come from?
Well, we've changed it up a little this year without it being probably noticed as much. Today was a little more. Obviously, we felt that Sard was... Well, we know that Sard's an outstanding player and very influential on games. So Keysy's got a lot of weapons. He's got a lot of things he does well, and one of them is, discipline around a role. And so, he has found himself sort of bumping in and out of that midfield throughout the year, working with Saligo, working with Berry, Schoenberg. Tonight, he had a slightly more important role ahead of the ball, and he played it to perfection. And that was one of sort of 22 that played, really solid footy tonight.
Does it feel like reward for hard work, that sort of result, because you had been knocking on the door against a lot of those top sides but hadn't got across the line?
Yeah, it's well-deserved reward for everyone. As I mentioned before, everyone who loves this footy club, and there are a lot of people out there that do, this was one of those nights that, it's a great chance to enjoy it. Just enjoy it. We're building something really special here. And at times it's hard and frustrating, but tonight was more than a glimpse. Tonight was reassurance for our playing group that what we are doing is heading in the right direction. And it was right across the board. We showed, when you talk about Josh Worrell coming in for his second game of footy and the development that he's shown in 12 months from his last game where we played in Cairns, it shows what time does. And development in a really strong footy side at a lower level. And he's one of many that could have come into this side that are playing in good form. So we've spoken about it week after week. We haven't put it all together at AFL level, but tonight we did. And Josh was a big part of that as well.
So is it still about time to see that consistently?
We'd like to think that we're not far off. But again, it's the challenge in that is embracing it and sticking to what it is you do. And that comes with experience. The best sides do it week in, week out. We're seeing Melbourne and Geelong, and they're up there for a reason. It's consistency of performance. I think the competition's so even that even a quarter where you're not at the level or it's not in the space you need it, and we showed that unfortunately last week.
Was that Brodie Smith's best game for the year, in your view, or perhaps one of the better games of his career?
Yeah, as I said before, and Brodie was, when we sit post-game and we chat, the players share their thoughts around how the game played out. His teammates were glowing on what they saw from him and the areas he's been working on, and we could see it from the bench. He was in a rare zone tonight, playing some great footy and leading from the front. And as I mentioned before, I could go through... It was hard in the post-game because I could go through the entire 22 and there wasn't one that didn't play his role tonight. I mean, Wayne Miller, every week we're seeing him continue to improve. Tonight was, wow, the polish that he brings and composure with the ball. Darcy Fogarty continues to develop, even at an AFL level. and just his belief in himself, at the moment is as good as I've seen. So I could keep going through the group, but it was a team effort tonight. We had a couple of really important roles circled on the board, but overall the entire team was circled. We said the only way we beat a side like Carlton is to do it as a team, and we did that.
What was better, Fogarty's specky mark or his 3 fend off and snap the goal?
I'll take the fend off and goal. I thought the mark was nice as well, but there's so much other stuff that he's doing at the moment that goes unnoticed as well. But we come to the footy to be entertained, and he's, those moments are extremely entertaining. Even I found it hard to hide my emotion when he kicked that goal. It was a block. When he took the mark, I was blocked. I couldn't see it.
Why are you better at holding the ball inside 50 now?
Oh, it's the package. It's the game plan we're putting together. It's it's all connected in a way, and it's the consistency of what we do. Our players have got an amazing belief in what we're doing. We haven't had the reward. We got it tonight, and it's only going to add to that. And that, our front of centre game, I think it's 35 front of centres this, tonight. It wasn't necessarily off one area of our game. It was the entire game. First of all, having it in there enough, and that's off the back of contest. The way we move the ball out of our back half, it's all connected. And we are slowly bringing that together. Our challenge now is 8 days, we play again, and we have to be able to put it together for 4 quarters.
Did you feel like you needed to take a scalp? I know you've been saying you just want to win every game and every game's worth 4 points, all of that sort of thing. But did you feel like you needed to take a scalp in the back half of the season, having not sort of had one since the Doggies game?
Look, it's a win-loss industry. That's what it is. When it comes down to it, at the end of the year, not many people look at the detail that's underneath. In fact, it's been quite tough the last month. We've been chipping away, and the boys we've been right around the mark and not able to get it done. So to get a win is reward for everyone. Our supporters keep coming out to games. They love this footy club, and that's the most pleasing part. I love this footy club, and so we've got to give them reward. And tonight was one of those nights. But it is hard when you're playing, really strong footy, but not quite finishing it off and not getting the job done. It does make it tough. So tonight's one where, we walk off and really enjoy that.
I was talking specifically about a finals-bound side. Did you feel like you needed to add that to your resume rather than your 2 wins in the last stretch of in against the West Coast?
Yeah, I've mentioned it that many times. I don't think the competition is... There's not a spread in the competition like maybe there was in previous years. I think the competition is so close. But to beat a final side is something... Well, we've done that over the last few years. What we're looking for now is consistent performance, and that'll get us wins. We've now got to go and travel and get the job done again. And it doesn't really matter who we're playing against. We've got to come and bring our game. And that's really what we're about at the moment. Performing the way we need to perform, and the result comes off the back of that.
Does it give you more belief, though, being on a side like Carlton?
100%. Of course. And as I said before, beating any side gives us belief. It doesn't matter where they sit on the ladder, but no, I understand your point. We have respect for every side in the comp. We also know, and I think I've mentioned it on the way in, we know the talent that Carlton have and what they can do to you if you don't bring your A game. So for us to do that tonight was, really, really good reward.
Just on the Saab-Keys matchup, could it have gone any better for you for Keysy to kick 3 the other way? He could have kicked 5, your hands off 2.
Hands a couple off, yeah.
Could it have gone any better for you? How you planned it?
We could have kicked 5. No, look, I think it's a tough role. Playing on a player like that is a really tough role. But when you've got 21 teammates that are doing it with you at the same time, and I don't want to take anything away from what Keysy's done. It was an outstanding performance. But we did it as a team tonight. We did it as a team,
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks for that.